It is warm, ladies and gentlemen. I'm wearing almost nothing. I'm wearing a sock over my penis and balls and a loose button-up shirt with short sleeves just open. I look like this. I've got a head. I've got another head here about the same size. Ha! That's my penis. This is a sock. It's one of those short, like, trainer socks. Like the little, like, almost like a little child's booties kind of thing. And this is... I've got elephantiasis in this leg. Am I okay? Christ, I know it's hot, but there's no need to be fucking... I've got a hairy chest and tummy, so that's... and it drips because I pee through it. That's what I'm wearing. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is already bigger than I really want it to be. This is a lot bigger than I want it to be. Bugsy Malone. No doubt about it. We cry and we pout it. We're the very best at being bad guys. We're rotten to the core. My congratulations, no one likes you anymore. Bad guys, we're the very worst. I don't know why I know all that, and I don't know why I'm singing it. I'm gay. That's why. It's because I'm a big fruit. I like musicals. I actually fucking despise music. Can't fuck bloody stand them. They annoy me. Les Miserables. Fucking my stupid brother was not obsessed. Well, maybe he was obsessed, but he liked Les Mis and Cats, all that shit. And so he fucking watched that shit all the time. So it gets stuck in your head, doesn't it? And now I know it all. Not all of it, but enough that it annoys the piss out of me. And I'm not happy about it. I know bits of Cats. What do I know from Cats? Let's sing some songs from Cats. They should remake Cats. They should make it modern day with like CGI and stuff. That would be really cool. I'm sure it would look amazing if they did that. Mungo, Jerry and Rumpelteazer. Actually having like fucking Vietnam flashbacks to that shit. Awful. I'm drawing a slig. You might know them from Abe's Odyssey. I did not intend to draw it this big, but I did the whole it is hot and it was this big, and so now it's just this big. Maybe I'll inky ink it. They got big forearms. I do have Google Images up, so I am, looking it up. But I'm drawing my own sort of version, I guess. I've drawn it way too big. I can't fit in any detail. Shall I start again? Shall I just start the whole podcast again? Shall I pretend this didn't happen? Let me go another piece of paper. I'll apologise now if you can hear a faint in the background because I've got my fan on. It might be that you can't hear it at all, in which case I needn't have even mentioned it. But if you can hear it, tough titters. It just is what it is because it's warm. So I've got my fanny on. Got my big fanny to cool me down. I like sligs. I like how, because they're like, I think sligs, the whole thing is they're like slugs. So it's the word is like kind of like similar. Because they've got little funny little tail bodies, and then they get their pants, which are these like robot leg things. Which I think the first time I played Abe's Odyssey, I was just sort of maybe too young to really understand any of it, and I didn't get that. I thought they just had robotic legs. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realise it was like they had these funny little bodies, and they're not legs. They're like pants, as they call them in the. That's quite cool. I quite like these shapes that are coming out of this. That's one of the things I love. That's one of the things I love. Way to slur your fucking words, idiot. One day I'd like to podcast for a living, and then I can make money through talking. Really? Talk all this with slur your words together, and I can tell what fucking talking about. Fuck piece of shit. Fuck kill yourself, you fucking waste of wank fucking ass sperm. I don't know why it was necessary to almost throw the old. Is it seen as being the Inception noise? The boing, boing. Whenever somebody boing, and then you throw boing. Ha ha! That's funny. Is it? No. Eat shit and die. Woo-doo. Oh, it's a fun one today. Yeah, the whole Oddworld creations thing. I'm fucking annoyed that I didn't steal a book from this guy at university. He had like an Art of Oddworld book, and I can only remember little bits of it. But from what I do remember, it was like incredible. We were doing mushrooms, and just before we took the mushrooms, we were at this guy's house, and he was like, oh, Ewan, you'll probably like this. And he showed me this book, and I was like, oh, Oddworld, yeah, I guess it's okay. Yeah. And then he let me borrow the book, and I chilled with it for a bit, and then gave it back to him. And now I'm like, oh, I should have fucking just kept forgetting to give it back to him until we left university, and then I just steal it. That's a cool thing to do to a person who lent you a book, isn't it? Fucking steal this shit. I know their arms don't actually look like this. They're actually... They don't really have like the usual like human wrist and then hand. It just goes sort of wrist and then fingers like this, which is cool. I was going to do it more of my own sort of style, but maybe I won't. Should I do the pinky sticking out? I've got the Google images, which I think I already said. I think they've got 3 fingers. Oh, they've got like a little middle one. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you've got like a bigger finger and then a little middle one. And then, yeah, I can have the little pinky sticking out there. That'd be cool. But yeah, the designs and everything on all the Oddworld creations, all the creatures and shit, are so good. Maybe I like them largely because they look good. I feel like that was a lot of the design was just to make a bunch of shit that looks cool. Because the sligs look cool. The fucking, what are they? Are they the slogs? The slig dogs? The big fucking gnarly dogs like this with 2 legs. They're almost like squigs from the Warhammer universe. What are the is it parakeets? Scrabs. The shape of a scrab is fucking killer. I love that shit. Where they're like this, got like a beak like this, and their bodies, they've got almost like a rib cage, like with like pectoral muscles, and then these weird hips, and then 4 like little pointy legs. And they're blind, I guess. They've got no eyes, but that's such a cool like design. It just looks cool. The shapes and everything are really cool. I might have to just draw like all the fucking, because they have scrab cakes, don't they? That's how I remember the name. That's shit. But yeah, I mean, besides looking good, the whole world they built is just cool. Where it's, you know, they've got shit going on in the world. Little slaves and little funny drinks machines and snacks and corporations. The Gluckons controlling the Mudokon slaves. Which all sounds silly enough, obviously. Sounds like a bunch of balls. Oh, I just had a flashback. Wow. Okay, so this is in primary school, man. I could have been no older than 10, if that. I'd played. My brother had we had a PlayStation, a PSX before the PS1, before the PS2, obviously. And my brother had this like demo CD, a demo disc of like horror game demos that he got in the PlayStation magazine or something. And on it was a demo of Soul Reaver. This is shit. Oh god, what have I done? Why have I made this so shit? Oh, I can use Tipex. Yeah, there was a demo of Soul Reaver on this demo disc. And I just became obsessed with it. I fucking loved that. I played that demo just relentlessly again and again and again. And then at one point at school, we had to like write a little story, like just make a story up or make it about something real or whatever. And I've been playing this game, Soul Reaver, and like the guy's name was like Asriel or something. And then I remember there being like a lot of A's and Z's and X's or whatever in like the names of the people in that game. Back then I didn't realise it was all based on, you know, like biblical names or whatever else, all this shit. I just thought, oh, you put a bunch of random letters together and it makes a funny name. And so I wrote this, I made up a story heavily based on Soul Reaver because I'd been playing that again and again at 10 years old. And it was some story about like some weird guy trying to save a princess. And I just gave all the place names were like Asglab or whatever, and all the characters were called like Skagkrag, like all these silly fucking names, but not silly in a way that's like knowingly silly, like Rick and Morty funny alien name silly. It was, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm throwing a bunch of random letters together to make all these names silly. And I remember reading this story to the class because we had to get up and read our shitty stories to the class. And everyone laughing every time I said another one of these names, which was not the intention at all. I meant it quite seriously. But everyone was laughing. And I realised sometime later it's because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just making up stupid names based on sounds I heard in a game that I had no fucking clue about. My point being, with things like sligs and slogs and scrabs and mudokons and gluckons, it'd be very easy to like have that shit just sound silly, to just sound ridiculous, and you know, read their names or hear them in the game and just think, what is this shit? What are they giving me here? This is garbage. But I think with the visuals of the game, the designs and everything, and the names given to them all, I think it all works well in tandem, yeah? It all comes together to form a good whole with the sum of its parts, or whatever the fuck. And it's good, yeah. There you go. There's my hot take. Is that the Oddworld Creations games, Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus. There was Munch's Odyssey on the Xbox when it first came out, which was a game. You know, it was the first 3D Oddworld game, which was quite cool. Because, you know, the originals were all 2D side-scrolling action puzzle WoW games that I'd really like to replay, because I don't think I've played them since I became more cognizant of what the fuck I was doing in video games. Because back then, when I first played them, I was just playing games just to play games, not really realising there was form and structure to them and a point and a story and like you could win or lose. I just thought it was like an arcade game where you just run around for a bit because it's fun and then turn it off. Come back to it later on if you feel up to it. Yeah, so I've not really played them properly. I've not given them the proper sort of time and energy I feel they deserve. But that's also because I've not had a thing to play them on. The largest portion of my life, I guess, of my later gaming life has been Xbox oriented. Which I guess the original Xbox had Munch's Odyssey, but then I've not had a PlayStation on which I could play, you know, Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus, which would be very, very enjoyable to do. So somebody on the YouTube comments said, you should draw something from Abe's Odyssey if you feel up to it. And I'd had a post-it note with like Abe's Odyssey written on it. Probably misspelled the word Odyssey because it's one of those words where I'm never quite... I could spell restaurant. I know that's seen as like one of those difficult to spell words. I could spell restaurant with my eyes closed because you don't really need to see to be able to spell, do you? So I'd had it written on a post-it note for quite some time, Abe's Odyssey, as a thing to like remind myself, hey, draw something from Abe's Odyssey sometime, even if it's just a slig or something. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? And then somebody in the YouTube comments said, you should draw something from Abe's Odyssey sometime. And I figured, you know what? Yeah, all right. So that's what I'm bloody doing. Obviously, that's what I'm doing. It goes without saying, really, doesn't it? But it's a good game. It's a good world. They got really good designs of creatures and things. And it's funny, like it's actual funny. Even back before I really understood it all, I thought it was funny. I'm sure if I played it now, I'd find it even funnier. I'm sure it'd be a laugh riot, and I'd enjoy it immensely. Or maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I'd find it shit. Maybe I'd play it now and be like, why did I find this funny? This is bullshit. Or maybe now I'd really understand the intricacies of like slaves being kept by these fucking corporate greedy fucks. And then the slaves being freed by this one saviour slave called Abe. With uprising and, you know, it's relevant to today. Workers, unions, striking and stuff. Labour, slaves, slave labour. Yeah, man, it's probably more relevant today than it ever was. People love to say shit like that, don't they? In 1984, have you read 1984? It's more relevant today than it ever was when... Is it? Or maybe it is, I don't know. I have read 1984. I remember some of it. I remember the ending just being depressing as fuck. Spoiler for the ending of 1984 if you haven't read that ancient book that everyone's apparently read, even though no one's actually read it. You just know no one's actually fucking read that book. The good guys don't win. Yeah, there's your spoiler for 1984. The good guys do not win. The fucking filthy, rotten corporate overlords, or whoever, you know, Ingsoc and all that shit, they win in the end. The system wins, which is the point of the story, is, you know, sure, have your uprising, fight back, good luck with it all, but, you know, ultimately... The status quo remains as quo. which is sad and depressing. Such is life, innit? Life's a shit, depressing pile of fuck wank. So why should a book be any different? Why should a book give you hope when it can make you miserable, make you wish you were never born? Oh, that would be... Wow, that's quite a tome. What's the definition of tome? I know tome, T-O-M-E, to mean a large old book. But I've never really considered the true definition, so I'll Google it now. Tome. A book, especially a large, heavy, scholarly one. A weighty tome. Yeah, there you go. A big book. Tome. Done. This is a book I've looked at before. I know I don't have anything new right now, yeah? I don't have any new art books. There's no new comics that I'm really like... The new John Romita Jr. Spider-Man, I was thinking I might pick up every issue of that, but then after like 2 issues I was like, meh. Like I was flicking through them in the comic book store just thinking, it's okay, but like... I think John Romita Jr. has had his best days of comic book art. Not to say he can't still do it, he still draws incredibly well, and you can still look at a John Romita Jr. Comic and know it's a John Romita Jr. comic, but I feel like he's created what may be his best work in the past, and he may create something still that will become his greatest work, that will outdo what he's done in the past. And it's really, really cool to see him back, to see John Romita Jr. back doing Spider-Man again in 2022. It's really cool to see. But I flick through them and it's just, it's a Spider-Man comic. It's average, sort of okay John Romita Jr. art. It doesn't blow me away. I don't look through it and really pick out anything that amazes me about it. And so I've not been picking up the comics. They'll collect them in one tome, which probably won't be a tome, it'll be a trade paperback, won't it? And then I might pick that up, maybe, or at least flick through it in... Do you know what I should do? I should go to the comic book store and do my art book sections of the podcast in the store. Just flick through stuff and go, oh, today we're looking at fucking Amazing Spider-Man issue 12. Blah. This is a pile of shit. The artist is wank and I hate it and I wish they'd let me do a Spider-Man comic in the store and just see how long I can do it until I get kicked out. That'd be quite funny. I don't think I've got it in me to do that, but it would be. Anyway, this is Mike Mignola's The Quarantine Sketchbook. It's a bunch of sketches he did during quarantine. Obviously, it really, really goes without saying, but I said it anyway. I'm going to take a sip of my pee piss. Refreshing. It's just a bunch of pencil drawings that he did, like more or less one a day. As I was saying, there's nothing new out that I'm like, oh hey, I'll show this off. I could show off Lobster Robin's book again because it's a really fucking good art. I've literally looked at it like every day since I got that book. I like it a lot. I'll get bored of it soon. King Lobster! Lobster in disguise. Man crab. Crab people. Walk like crabs. Talk like people. There's a South Park reference. I don't throw many of those in. Oh my god, they killed Kenneth. Oh no. But this was one of those books that I was very, very surprised to see in the store, which happens every now and again. It happened with an Ashley Wood book, a David Cho book, the Sabre graffiti book. If I've not shown that off, I might soon. But yeah, I've seen that because I follow Mike Mignola on Instagram. I pronounce it Mignola. It might be Mignola, I don't know, but I'm going to continue to pronounce it Mignola. I follow him on Instagram. I saw these sketches as he was doing them. That's really fucking cool. I love the way he does tentacles. Testicles. And fish people. Innsmouth. That's a good story by the incredibly racist H.P. Lovecraft. Wow, we're on ADHD mode today, aren't we? No, I'm getting too many points. Follow him on Instagram. Saw these sketches as he was doing them. Thought they were cool. Saw that he was putting out a book, and I was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool to have a copy of that book? Sometimes I think it would be cool to have a copy of those sorts of books for myself, and sometimes I think it would be cool to get a copy of whatever art book just to look through on the podcast. Sometimes I'm just looking for content for my podcast. But I figured it's not entirely, it's incredibly unlikely I'll actually get my hands on a copy of that book, because, you know, it's like a rare... Oh, there you go, they even put Innsmouth. So that's a story about fish people. I wasn't expecting to ever get my hands on a copy of this book, and then I saw it in the store, and it was relatively expensive, but I figured worth picking up, and all the money goes to charity or something, I don't know. Probably doesn't. It's probably the money that the stores pay to buy the book goes to the charity, and then when you actually buy it from the store, they get the money, probably, especially when it's a chain store. So I saw the book, bought it regardless of price, because I figured it's one for the collection, isn't it? It's like a new Mike Mignola book. He stopped doing Hellboy, but he's still drawing for fun or whatever, and he draws amazing octopuses, octopodoses, Dr. Octoposes. They're so good, man. And as I've said a zillion times with Mike Mignola's work, he's one of those ones where it looks so simple, like it looks basic in terms of shape and design, but then if you try to replicate that, it would look shit, because he's just got something. He just knows what he's doing. And he's been doing it a long time, so it's like... So I looked through this book. I bought it, looked through it on the podcast, and then sat it on a pile, and it got a load of other stuff piled on top of it, and I almost just forgot about it. So I looked at it that one time and hadn't looked at it prior or since. I unwrapped the plastic on the podcast, I think. So I was looking at my piles of books and comics of like, what can I look at? Shall I go through the Judge Dredd Batman crossover again, or fucking Glenn Fabry's Preacher covers again? And then I saw this and I was like, do you know what? I'd like to look through that again. Groot! I think this is what the original Groot looked like in the comics. I think way before he was like a Guardians of the Galaxy funny sidekick. He was this random epic monster crashing to Earth, you know, drawn by like Jack Kirby or whatever. Fear the mighty Groot. And now it's just, I am Groot. And then there's baby Groot. Oh, and he's so cute. And you can buy a Funko Pop of him and have him on your desk. And he's so adorable. Oh my god, I'm going to shit in my socks. Talking of funny names, Grog, Gorgola, Gorgilla, Groot, Grog, Gorgola, Googam, Goom, son of Goom, Googam, son of Goom. They're all G words. Is that on purpose? Did Mike Mignola draw them because they're all the G word name monsters? Who knows? Who knows? Grog. I love the way he draws gargoyles and things, stone, just little lines that just imply texture and make it feel like stone as opposed to flesh. Googam, son of Goom. I remember seeing these two on Instagram. I think I saw this one first because Instagram's algorithm's really cool. It shows you stuff that maybe you should see after, but it shows it to you before because Instagram's amazing. But it's still, you know, Googam, son of Goom. I was like, that's quite funny. And then at another point, I saw Goom, and I was like, oh, hey, that's for the thing. Dragon Man. Oh my god, he's a dragon and a man. Gigantor! Punch and Judas. Do they have Punch and Judy outside of the UK? I mean, I know Mike Mignola's American, but he's into like all kinds of weird folklore from all over the planet. So Punch and Judy to him might just be like a thing, because he does stuff with puppets. There's quite a cool little scene in Hellboy from Hell where there's a little puppet show retelling the start of a Christmas Carol with Ebenezer Scrooge and his chains and the ghosts and all. So Punch and Judy. Let's Google it. Punch and Judy. That's the way to do it. It's a traditional puppet show featuring Mr. Punch and his wife Judy. The performance consists of two characters, Punch and the other characters. Is Punch and Judy known worldwide? Is Punch and Judy known worldwide? Do they have Punch and Judy in America? Drop down question. In Mark Walker's talk, Punch and Judy in America, he talks about the history of Punch and Judy, shows the reason the show has endured and how it has adapted to American... Oh, well, maybe they do then. There's me going, ha, you silly Americans don't even know what Punch and Judy is. And then you might be sat there going, yeah, we do. We've got Punch and Judy. It's shit, but we've got it. Mayor, and he's a weird... Oh, it's... No, he's a... Is he a serial? Or from some TV show? Because I know he does do the serial monster drawings, and that's a... I think that's a thing, but I don't know what it is. That's two guys. They're probably based on people, but regardless of that, I love the drawing, the design, the shadow on this arm being in like the middle of the arm and then to this side of the arm. Go from this side to the middle to this side, and the undershadow here under the breasts and the hooves, and then the little skulls. I love the way he draws skulls and the snake. I love the way he draws snake bodies. I don't know if I've really... I've done it. I use it for like lizard tails. Sometimes when I draw lizard tails, if it's a cross section, you draw it like this. Like it's this, but like a long thing. And that way, see if you draw like a tail, like this, you do it like that. Yeah. So it's got the cross section like that. And it just makes it, gives it a bit more sort of form. Or if you draw, maybe if I do it like this, it'll be better. Yeah. Like that, see? Because then it's not like, you know, like a ribbon. Like a flat ribbon would be like that. But it's got this prism shape to it. So if you draw like, what can I think of? Like the back of a dinosaur. This is a dinosaur. With his little dinosaur hands. Silly dinosaur legs. And he's got his tail like this. And you do it exactly like I just did it there. It just gives it a bit more sort of form and like makes it not, you know, be just a tail like this, like cool. You know, whatever. It's actually got form, and then if you put shadow on one side of it and keep the other side highlighted, it's a really good way of adding really simple form to certain shapes. And he does that with his like snakes and shit, which I don't think I first stole that. I obviously stole it from somewhere. I don't think it was Mignola that I originally stole it from, but it may as well have been. Tin Man, flying monkeys. I keep going on about wanting to draw a lot of those. Oh, he draws a whole bunch of them. Maybe that's where I got the idea of drawing flying monkeys from. Shit, man. Everything's stolen from somewhere. They're not even monkeys, they're chimpanzees. Got no tails, see? Monkeys have tails. Chimpanzees don't. West, Wizard of Oz, and there's Wicked Witch of the West. Hey, that's the boy from hell. Some guy I like. Just such a dumb looking face, but like dumb as in low intelligence, but in terms of drawing, it's a really cool shape and stuff. It's good, man. He's good. Hey, Mike Mignola's good at drawing. There's some another one of those hot takes for you there. That's really fucking cool. That's the sort of thing that I really would like to like trace and then paint or something. God, everything's so chunky. I love how fucking. I'd love to see action figures with these exact like shapes and textures and stuff. Because you see like a Hellboy action figure and it's chunky and smooth and whatever. But I'd love to see action figures like this of just random monsters with big bulky bits and I don't know, fucking chunky weird horns and backpacks and stuff. Straps and buckles and studs and loops. Hey! That's cool. Sullivan and Michael Kowski. Doesn't Michael Kowski have horns? That reminds me. I think it's in here. I don't know. I might see it and be like, oh no, actually, it's nothing like it at all. But it makes me think a little bit of a drawing I did. And I can't seem to find it anywhere. Oh shit. God damn it. What the fuck is it there? Yeah, vaguely reminiscent of like shading. This was done, 2017 or some shit. 2017, yeah, so way before this. It just seeing this image brought this image to my mind, which I don't know. Shut up. That's funny. I'll say it's cool. It is cool. It's more funny than the shape of the tentacle, man. That's got such form and like depth to it in terms of how it's moving and shit, and it almost forms like a halo and like a wreath around. And it's cut off. And he's a smart man. These are cool. Hatching looks familiar. These bird-headed gentlemen, I like them. Lizards. Hey, I've just stolen everything from Mignola. Hey, I'll start drawing lizards. Hey, I'll start drawing flying monkeys. I'll draw tentacles and tails in this sort of way. I mean, Mike Mignola's hardly the first person to draw lizards, is he? And I don't draw mine looking all fruity in suits like that. I draw mine with fucking guns and manly shit. That's a really cool. I love the drawing of the skull there, and that's cool too. But that and skull people, walk like skulls, talk like people. Those are really cool. I've said before about some other things. I love the extended neck, because especially if you're drawing like humanoid monster creature animal things, it's so just like ingrained in your head to put the head have shoulders and a neck and then a head. But then if you extend it just a little bit, it just has this slightly more like, I don't know, not scary, but just weird, like odd look to it. And when you're drawing monsters, that's what you want. Because drawing a scary monster is like, okay, cool, loads of teeth, tentacles, flesh, blood, eyes, whatever. But then if you want to make your creatures really look like otherworldly or whatever, you make them look fucking weird. That's such a simple thing to do. Just extend that neck just a little bit. Just gives it that odd shape to it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a fucking wolf. I like this because it looks almost like his chimpanzees, golem creatures, in terms of its body shape, but it's a werewolf. Which again, makes it just look a bit weird. I assume he'll draw certain things and be like, I'll draw a wolf, I'll draw a couple of werewolves, I'll draw a few werewolves. And he drew a vampire, he's like, do you know what, I'll draw a few vampires. Draw a few vampires over a few days. Cool. A few more drawings done, a few more pages for the book. These are really cool. I love that they, again, like Mignola does, like he does with Hellboy. Hellboy looks like he's made out of stone, the way Mignola draws him. And I love how these kind of look like that. He's got like rough skin and stuff, and they just they look kind of bulky, like they're made out of stone, and they're the Flintstones and the Rubbles. She can get it. So can he, to be fair. Hey Fred, what did I do? That's all I can do in his voice. Hey Fred, hey boo boo, that's a nice picnic basket. I apologise. That's cool. Adventure time! I love his silly arm. It's got the shadow again. Shadow transitioning from one side to the other. Something to note for your own artworks. Marceline, the Vampire Queen. I remember specifically really liking this drawing when I first looked through the book. Squiddly Diddly, I think that's his name. I want to trace this and paint it because that'd be really, really fun. With those proportions and shapes and everything. But like, you know, some like orange underglow. Or do the fairly overused by me especially, you know, like purple skin because he's a purple octopus. With like the turquoise glow behind him and then like a darker or lighter turquoise background. Make it look watery and shimmery. Because it's a good fucking drawing. Am I really going to go through every page of this? Maybe not, I don't know. Well, I'll just look at a few more. Otherwise it's just going to be drawn out in it. Is he from one of the Thor films? I don't know. I never watched them because I don't care. Hellboy drawings are cool. It's cool to see like new Hellboy drawings. Even if he's not doing the comic anymore. It's good to see some Hellboy drawings. I love the chopped things. Chopped lizards and chopped tentacles. Many Hellboy. Giant robot Batman! Giant robot Hellboy. Giant robot Santo. Giant robot Wolverine. That's quite a cool series. Giant robot fill in the blank. Giant robot Grim Reaper. Oh, a cool one. Robot monster. The use of shadow is so good. It's genius on there. Which is, you know, largely what the guy's known for, isn't it? His use of shadow and shit. Thundercats. Mum-Ra. Would have been cool to see him do Chitara or whatever her name is. Vegetable heads. Merman! Skeletor! The long necks, man. You throw a long neck in, it fucks your shit up. In a good way. Of course. Obviously, in a good way. Chest pieces, those are cool. Really, really neat concept for some chest pieces. Ooh, some tits. Nice masked tit havers. God, the shading on that body is gorgeous. I'll leave it there. I've got to be honest with you, yeah. I was thinking, like, I'm going to draw a slig, but, you know, don't hold out too much. Hope it might not come out that good. Remember when I did that voice for way longer than I really should have. I was thinking, you know, I'll draw a slig, cool, whatever. I thought it would just be a funny little doodle, which it is. You know, it's taken me, what, barely 20 minutes, if that, just to get this little guy done as he is. I actually really like this. I like I like the shapes and stuff. I'm pretty happy with this as a drawing. Maybe I'll give it away. Maybe you can go fuck yourselves. Maybe I'll keep it for myself. I'm entitled to keep my own artwork. There's been many, many lawsuits about artists keeping their own artwork. Which is usually because, you know, the artwork's being used for something commercial and then they just want to keep the rights to it. Whereas this is just me drawing a picture going, no, it's mine and you can't have it. I got a lot of, a couple of weeks ago, one of my podcasts, I don't know how or why, it was the podcast with the thumbnail title, Giving Up My Dreams or something. Giving Up on My Dreams or whatever. That seemed to get recommended to a lot of, I'll say a lot of people, a lot more people than would usually see it. And normally, my podcasts get like a few hundred views, between like 300 to 500 on average, maybe the lower side, 300, 350-ish views. And then this one, within a couple of days of it being uploaded, like publicly on YouTube, outside of Patreon, 2,000 views, which for one of my podcasts is a lot. That's like more than 4 times the average number of views. And I got a whole heap of comments saying it was getting recommended to people. And it varied from cool, like, this got recommended to me and I really like it. I don't know who the fuck you are, but I like what you do. Hey, it's cool, your drawings. And this was recommended to me. I don't know what the hell's happening, but I'm into it. And then that went towards... this got recommended to me. What the fuck is going on? Down to why the fuck was this recommended to me? Which I've had that a couple of times. So I get messages like that or comments maybe a couple of times a year where I guess one of my videos gets recommended to someone. They watch it and go, what the fuck is this? Why is this being recommended to me? Which is completely and utterly fair. I'm absolutely on board with that reaction. I get it. I completely understand. But there was a surprising amount of people that were like, this got recommended to me and I don't know why, but it's cool. I'm into it. And hopefully some new... And I did get quite a lot of new subscribers. I got like a good, maybe... almost 200 subscribers. Wait, again, grand scheme, very little. It's, it's not, he broke 1 million subscribers in under a week. Can you believe it? Yeah. But for me, for my tiddly little YouTube channel, that's quite a thing. That's quite a jump. It went from 20 subscribers in a month or something to like 200 subscribers over a weekend, which is a pretty big deal. And I was like, that's pretty fucking nice. And then, of course, I was aware this could go one of two ways. It could either potentially be the start of something big where my videos get recommended to more people see them, it brings in more people, and then that sort of snowballs and it starts to grow. Or it could just be a one-off sort of fluke. One of my videos, maybe the thumbnail was just all right with had the words "giving up on my dreams," so a lot of people might see that and be like, "Oh, giving up on your dreams? What's that all about?" That's quite an interesting thing to hear about, isn't it? And yeah, so I figured it could just be a one-off fluke. That it has a little burst from that one video and then it calms down again in the next week of videos, and that is what happened. It would be nice if that carried on, if I started getting loads more views and subscribers, if nothing else just for the reactions. As a long time follower on Instagram, and I guess subscriber on YouTube, mentioned in a comment, they love exactly what I loved, which was seeing all the people that aren't used to me, the people that don't follow me on Instagram, the people that don't know who the fuck I am, suddenly come across something I'm doing like my podcasts where I'm just going, oh, shit in my mouth and piss in my face. Oh, your mum's a big fat whore. Hey, let's do a rap. Yo, my name is Ewan and I'm here to say I'm not quite straight and I'm not quite gay. I'm a little bit of both. I'm in between. I'll still suck a penis if you know what I mean. And then I'm drawing whatever I'm drawing, and then I go, oh, Han, hey, look at this. This is a penis, but it's got a funny face on it. Whoa, what's he doing? He's bonkers, bananas spitting everywhere. Is this cum or is this cum? I don't know. Is this saliva? Is this saliva? And rightly so, if they've never seen me or what I do before, they see that and go, what the fuck am I watching? Is this guy unwell? Is he recording this from a medical facility? Is he taking medication for something that he clearly has wrong in him? Which is a perfectly valid reaction. But that's one of the funniest things to see about, for me getting new subscribers, is to see people stumbling upon a video of mine and going, what is happening? And then sometimes they're into it, and I really love that. I love that people see a random video, click on it, like a video with a couple of hundred views, which already, it's probably rare that people click on those videos because they think, well, clearly this is a shit video that no one's watching, so why should I bother? Well, that's what I think anyway. That's what I do anyway. I don't pay attention to smaller creators. Why would I? So they see a video with a couple hundred views. It's got a title that says "Giving Up on My Dreams" or whatever. It's what is it? A guy drawing? I guess I'll watch it for a bit. I'll see what's up. And they start watching, and they go, "What? I don't even know what this is." And this happened as well. I get comments from people saying, "I'm like 2 minutes in, and what the hell is this?" And then they comment again on the next video saying, hey, this is really cool, or something like that. So it's like they obviously got a couple of minutes into the video and were like, what is this? But something keeps them watching. For some reason, they don't know why. I don't know why. But something keeps them watching. And then they come back for more. And they watch future videos. And I think that's amazing. I think that's one of the best ways to do it, because there's been a bunch of videos where I've watched one video by a creator and figured I don't really know who this is, I don't know their content, but this one video seems interesting, it's about a subject I have some vague interest in, so I watch the video and I'm like, oh, okay, that was a pretty cool video. Yeah, they know their shit, they're talking about this thing, they clearly research their stuff and whatever, and pretty funny or whatever. Subscribe. I'll subscribe to them. Cool. And then, they put up new videos. Sometimes I watch them, sometimes I don't. If they're about things I'm interested in, whatever. But for somebody to stumble across my videos and have just me fucking babbling, just yammering on, almost incoherently about fucking whatever, about piss and shit, and blood and fucking AIDS, whatever it is I'm talking about, violence against women. Oh, I've got stories about that. And then to stumble across a video like that and then carry on watching and then come back for more videos, I think that's amazing. Because you could easily, and I'm sure a lot of people have stumbled across my videos and gone, no. They've watched a few minutes in, heard some fucking god-awful shite coming out of my mouth and gone, no, I have no interest in whatever this prick is putting out. Of course his videos only get a few hundred views. I can absolutely see why his videos have such low view counts and why he's got so few subscribers or whatever. Because he doesn't deserve more, because fucking listen to him. He's an idiot. Which is completely valid, and I completely understand that mindset. But I do kind of love the opposite one of people stumbling across my fucking audio-visual ball bag and enjoying it. I think that's wonderful. What a way to ingratiate people to the cult, the Ewan fucking cult of cum. It's not a cult. It's a cunt. It's a cunt. Get it? It's like, no, it's not. There's nothing to get. Do you get my cum in your eye? I like this drawing. I'm happy with it. I feel like I should give him a tail, but I know it shouldn't be visible because I think the tail goes like inside. I think they're like, if this is the pants from the side, the legs are here. Do they? Oh no, they come forward and then like that. I think the slig is in it like this, with their tail curled around like a little fetus tadpole almost. That's how I think they sit in there. So while it might be cool for the drawing to put the tail coming out or whatever, I don't think it should be there. Oh, but I don't fucking know. I didn't make the cunting thing, did I? If there are any new people watching right now that have maybe only been here for a couple of weeks, don't really know Ewan, me, and what I do. Hello. I draw pictures. I live in England. My Instagram, find me on Instagram, is Ewan, E-W-A-N, again. That's my Instagram. It's again, because a while ago, my Instagram got deleted because I drew too many vaginas. www.patreon.com/Ewan. To help support me, it's only a single dollar. That's how you draw a dollar sign. $1 a month. $1 a month or more if you're into it. And you get access to podcasts 2 weeks early. I put them up 2 weeks before you see them on YouTube. You see them on Patreon. I put my comics up in PDFs. You can download sketchbooks occasionally when I can be asked to scan in 800 pages of sketchbook. I try. It's difficult because I'm morbidly obese, depressed, so it's difficult these days to actually do shit. But I appreciate the people who are there supporting me on Patreon and such. It's a big, incredibly big help. Patreon has been an incredible help, the support I've gotten on there, so I really do appreciate that. So if you're a new subscriber and you want to support me, if you see all the shit I'm doing, feel free to fucking go there and support me for as low as $1 a month. And now I'm going to do all the shit I hate seeing in other videos that I watch, which is follow my Instagrams, like and subscribe, and which, in my defense, I'm not doing that. I'm not starting off my video with a whole fucking reel of Instagram, Patreon, merch, here's my advertisings and my sponsors. Raycon, go buy the Raycon earbuds and use my code, and that way I get a little bit of money every time. I'm just saying, if you're new, or maybe even not that new, whatever, if you're seeing my shit and going, you know what, this guy is clearly a bit of a prick, but some of his drawings are okay, and you know, I like to support fucking pricks whose drawings are okay sometimes, then there is a means for you to do that. I don't sell merch really. I sell art books and stuff when I can. EwanEwan.com, there you go. Ewan, I'm really creative with my names. EwanEwan.com. There's a bunch of my artwork on there, but there's also a store where I sell some comics and things that I make. So you can go. This section here is just me saying for newer people who may not be aware of these things I have outside of this shitty little channel on YouTube. I do things, and there are ways you can support me if you like, or just things you can check out. There's a bunch of art you can look at on my website. There's even more art you can look at on my Instagram if that's what you want to do. Or if you just want to fucking watch a YouTube video every now and again while you're eating your dinner, then do that. Just if that's all my videos are to you, is just something to have on while you're eating or just in the background or whatever, then that's cool too. I'm more than happy for that to be all I am to you. Either way, I can sit playing with my dick in a sock under the table and slap it against my desk. Yeah!